dental is separate. Everything is separate. So there's so many things that covers. In generality, it's just called health. Education, there's a lot of education. Education is not just going to college. There's a lot of educations that our really people need, more so the new migrant Ethiopians need to survive itself. How to find a job, how to search for a job on computers. That kind of stuff is so important. Unfortunately, I guess without me seeing him, he just left. I had some award for them that he just left anyway. And can you go back? And education, like for instance, some people have an experience driving a bus in their country or trucks, but they don't know how to get a license here. So there's so many vast area that we cover with education. So it's not just limited to specific going to college only, even though that's probably the primary intent for the future. Community service. This is something that has never been started in our organization, I mean in the Ethiopian community. Community service is something that everybody has to focus on. I'll give you a little story, and it waked me up. Quite some time ago, I had kind of invited an elderly consultant on a non-profit organization. He's African American, have a lot of years of experience, have run a lot of organizations. And I asked, when he came over, I gave him my whole spiel. I told him what I do, what I have done, what I intend to do, and all that stuff. And he was just listening to me. After he listened for quite some time, without interrupting me, I said, I want to ask you one question. And he said, I said, why? And he said, why should I care about Ethiopians? I want you to do that. So why should I care about Ethiopians? I didn't have an idea. I swear to God, I was lost. Never thought of that point at all. So, I become frank, and I told him, I said, I don't know, but I think Ethiopians need them. They are part of your community. You should help them. But he said, why should I get them? You have no significance in this community. Why should any official care about Ethiopians? And that is true for almost every minority that comes, that was a smaller group of people in whatever community they are. That is always true. He was driving to a point. Okay, I didn't understand at the beginning, but he had a serious answer for me. So what he's saying is, in order for me to care about your community, or in order for anybody to care about your community, you have to give significance to your community. You have to raise the profile of your community within this community, larger community of the Samites. They have to care then. Right now, why should they care? There is no place you participate in non-African community, Black African Americans community. You don't do anything. Where is there? What is the place you have gone to do anything in groups to give your community a significance? You are always together by yourself, with your own tribe. And that is true. That is the truth. So, what is very important for us is to get involved in community service. Here, not just in the Ethiopian community. Isaac Trust Foundation doesn't just help the Ethiopian community, by the way. Even though 95% of the people that come to my office are Ethiopians. I have people from Kenya, I have people from Congo, from Nigeria, I have people that come from Burma, India, Pakistan, Philippines. But that is not what the guy is driving to. But we need to get involved in the Greater Los Angeles, participating within the community, to give ourselves significance. Ethiopians have done this. There is nothing that we have done in groups to participate, and that is a serious issue. So, when he told me that, I had to pull back and took all the advice I could get. And finally, I started to sponsor a school, a low-income school, to see if we can provide them with tutors. Just simple tutors. I have a lot of volunteers, a lot of people are coming with degrees, master degrees and all that stuff. I said, what? I can go put together. I put a group of people, about 5, that were willing to do tutoring at a small elementary school called Hillcrest Elementary. So when we started, I went over there for a meeting. Me and my wife, we went for a meeting with one of the coordinators. When I went over there, seriously, this is the saddest part of the United States, I swear to God. This is the greatest nation in the world. But some of these kids don't even have underwears. They don't have toothbrushes, no toothpaste. I mean, you cannot imagine. How do they go to school? How would they learn? I have no idea. So instead of me talking about tutoring, I'm driving on something that I said, how am I going to help these people? What do I have to do? So finally, with the grace of God, I start contacting other non-profit foundations who can provide me with products. So some kind of organization gave me a donation over somewhere around $20,000 for the products, for that school. I mean, I don't want, listen to me. This is not about one individual, what he can do. We need to do this in groups. We need everybody's participation within the community to give Ethiopians some significance in this community, in the larger community. That is a very important thing, seriously. So, many things that come since then, since that particular time when I had this consultant in my office. I have proposed to even this church, and probably in the future to all the Orthodox churches, and there is another church on Wilshire as well, to come up with some little things that kids could do and adults could participate. In the meantime, go out and help the community, cleaning up the streets, or maybe feeding sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at a Skid Row once a month, or something like that, where a group of us will go every month, once a month, and do those things to give our community significance. Simple things. We don't ask for money. All what we ask is maybe jelly. Somebody buys some jelly, somebody buys some peanut butter, somebody buys some slice of bread. And that's all. And the kids make the sandwiches. Now the kids will see how grateful they are for the kind of things they have when they go and provide this food for the needy. You help the kids, look into life a little bit differently. Plus, we give significance to our community. So, these are the kind of stuff, and there's many, many more things that we can do. But this kind of stuff we need to do, definitely. And that is a very, very important thing. So, I would like to, the reason I spend a little bit of time is because it's something we never did. We go to our own church, we go to our own restaurants, we go to, we don't mix, we don't do anything out there. So we got to think a little bit different. All right? I don't want to take too much time on that. Yes. Purpose of the fundraising. I mean, some of you have received the letters. The purpose is we don't need any money. Nobody gets paid at Yesehake Foundation. Everybody works for free. Actually, we spend our own money. So far, we are the ones that are spending the money. So what the idea was, we have done a lot of things. I think, unfortunately, let me see. Do you have the graph? One of the other papers? Yeah, can I have that? If you've seen in the back, I don't know, some of you have got flyers. These are some of the stuff that we have done. Okay? A lot of work has been done. But we run this from one little office. We don't fit, I mean, we do a lot of work, but they expect you to have like 10, 15 people working there to do all these jobs. In this country, I don't know, there are some social workers here, they probably can correct me here, but you know, you might have 10, 15 cases in a month, and that's it. Here I got tons of them. So they require, you know, a lot of work, and we are working definitely. I know that we're putting a lot of hours, a lot of time, a lot of, you know, money, and concern as well. So my whole idea is we want to raise some funds, but when we wrote a grant proposal to the nonprofit foundation, this is what happened. They see everything that we have done. Guess what? These people are smart. They send somebody to come and see our offices. See how many people are working there. One or two. I say, it can't be two. They think we're lying. So what comes to me is we don't fit the work we're producing and the image we're having is not the same. So that's the reason why I want to raise some funds and move out and have a bigger offices and have some volunteers to come in on board. People like, and so many people that really contribute a lot of time, you know, for this community, and they're willing to do so more. So we needed to get a bigger office where we can have computers, so we can assist people, train people how to go, train them how to search for, you know, fill up application online. A lot of the applications nowadays are online. You can't find a job. There's nobody who gives you a phone. Very few companies do that now. And nobody that comes, especially the new immigrants, they don't know how to use a computer. I'm sorry. Some do, but I have few. But most of them, 90%, they don't. And they don't even know how to fill out the form. I'm not blaming them. Listen, I probably was the same way when I first came here. I don't remember, it's such a long time ago. But, so the idea is, we want to make their life simpler, their life easier, the assimilation to this society easier for them. And that's the whole idea. That's where we're moving to. So I was very lucky to know one kind of wealthy person. So he promised me, if